Sometimes you have to have something that you know it's reliable. Old reliable is what they should have
Big
named the
Pussy's
album.
the old reliable.
Honestly, it is.
So hi, Welcome to Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And
keep this close to
last show of the year. Let's go.
Whee!
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 We're gonna talk about albums of the year and honorable mentions and disappointments
and favorite singles
and
songs.
Glory and I, we kind of like telepathically communicated with each other. We never actually set ground rules, but we got in here and kind of assumed that it was going to be top 10 records, 10 honorable mentions, 5 or so disappointments, and 5 singles. Singles were the only ones that we set because I was like, I don't want to do it. And you're like, okay, well, can we do 3? And
I was like, I have a
many.
couple.
And then you're like, I have too many. Can we do 5?
And now we're closer to 10.
Yeah, so we threw that out the door. I came in, I was like, okay, Gloria, I was able to keep it to 10 records for the top 10 because like that's obvious. Honorable mentions, I have 13. Like I'm sorry, bro, I went overboard. I do every year, but I'm warning you this time that I went overboard. And then she was like,
I had to scramble to find some new stuff.
Yeah, and then she was like, well, I have 7 songs. And I'm like, what do you mean you have 7 songs? We're going to have a top 7 now? So we have a top 7.
Top 7.
And then Glory just kept getting disappointment, so I just had to keep adding more.
Yeah, you have like 7, right?
I have 7 because we now have top 7 disappointments because Glory just hated so much music this year.
So much music. Honestly, every album that came out this year, dog shit.
This was a year for me. There's a lot of metal records that Glory did not care for that I liked.
Nope.
So albums like Papa Roach will be found on my good lists and will probably be found on Glory's bad list.
Disappointment list.
Yes.
Yep.
Before we get into it, I did see Lorna Shore last night, and that was a very good time. 3,000 people they played to.
Just for Lorna Shore, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it was 3,000. I might be
no, the Met is that
making
big, yeah.
making the capacity sound a little bit bigger than it is. It might be somewhere in like the 2,300 range, which is still a lot of people.
That's still a lot of people in one place for one band.
For a fucking death metal show, it's a lot of people. The last time I saw Lorna Shore was the 450 Cat Room in Philly, and they played to like 8 times the size of that last night. The room was so big I had a seat. I wasn't in the pit. I was in the balcony of this.
You were in the same spot I was at.
Yeah, in this beautiful theater. And there were 6 bands. I caught 5 of them because traffic kept me from catching the first band. But I saw Sentinels. I made it like a point to like get there. Like I knew I was gonna hit traffic, but I was like, I gotta see this fucking band. And I walk in, they're playing. Mads works at this venue now. I saw Mads. I ran right past them because they're like, I ain't missing this fucking band. Like, I'll come back.
I came here for Sentinels.
Like, I gotta see this fucking band. So I saw Sentinels, and then Signs of the Swarm played, and then Invent Animate played, and then there was Shadow of Intent, and then Lorna Shore came out. I guess between Midtown and Lorna Shore, I've learned I am not I don't have epilepsy. The strobes, the strobes were crazy. I think they stopped the show at one point because someone had a seizure. Like,
that's an awful way to realize that you're epileptic. That's awful.
Yeah. I think that's what Will said on stage. I could be wrong. But the strobes were fucking intense. Like, it was just constant. It did not end.
Do we still need strobes? Like, I mean, I've been to like a couple concerts with crazy strobes, and it always sucks because I could be enjoying the show, and then like for a good like 5 seconds, there's like a beam of light just directly in my eye, and I can't see shit. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm trying to watch the person, but I'm being blinded right now. It's like, just get like flames or something, man. Like, we're good. Just like,
I think pyro inside doesn't work.
It works perfectly, man. But it works perfectly.
I think that they should be used sparingly. I know that like it's just like the constant getting like beamed in the face.
It's awful.
Bad for anybody.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was a little ridiculous. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect because, as I said, the last time I saw them, they played to literally like an eighth of the people they played to last night. So they didn't quite have the lighting kit that they had last night, or they also didn't have a screen the last time I saw them. They had a screen last night.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy, but it was a good show. They're always good live. So now I'm done. 2022 year's over.
Wrapped up.
Yeah, last show was Lorna Shore. I'm done after that. Don't know when the next show will be.
How far away is Christmas Burns Red? Because like a bunch of my friends went to that, and for whatever reason, I thought you were gonna go.
That was that was Friday and Saturday of this week.
I know. How far away from it is it? Is it a hike?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours. I wanted to go last year because Lorna was playing.
So was Hawk.
Yeah. So I my original Christmas present ask last year was, Mom, Dad, you don't have to get me anything. Just get me the hotel package for Christmas Burns Red, and I'll be a happy camper. And they're like, you're not going to Lancaster alone and staying over. And I was like, you know what? Honestly, that's fair enough.
Well, one of you can come with me then.
but this year, like the lineup was good in terms of like I saw the names and I was like, this is a solid lineup, but nobody that I really gave enough of a shit about. And I think that if I saw August Burns Red 2 nights in a row, I would like start to kind of look like Jake. Like I would start to like grow a full beard and like get really muscular, because that's kind of how I feel listening to their music.
I forget Jake is the
I saw them two times over the span of 2 months, and I started to develop a full beard and muscles. Yeah, like my shoulders started to get a little broader. So I think I would turn into Jake if I saw them 2 days in a row.
That's ridiculous, dude.
But I would definitely like to go one year. It just has to be like the right support lineup around that band. Just because like, although I think they're an all right band, they're not like a selling point for me to like drive to Lancaster, get a hotel, you know.
That's fair. You could have hung out with Ricky, man. Missed opportunity.
When you say friends, Ricky was there.
No, like actually, like a couple of like my friends were there and they hung out with Ricky. I was like, come on, man, you could have been there. You could have been posing with Ricky and crowd surfing. You don't crowd surf.
I don't crowd surf now. But yeah, no, it was a good time. So, hell yeah. But here's to less shows in 2023. That's
the goal.
That's the goal right now. I think I'll stick to that goal for roughly 3 weeks before I'm at a show every weekend again. So
the first month.
Yeah, pretty much the first month. Yeah, because there's no shows. That's about the only way that I'm not going to go to any. If there's no fear of missing out if there's no shows happening.
Exactly. I think everybody should take a break from live music for a year. Because we're done.
We
we're
already
tired.
did that. We already did
let's
that.
do it again.
We don't need to do that again. Don't even manifest that, Glory.
I'm sorry, guys. I take it back.
Yes,
Universe, I take it back.
Yeah. There you go.
It's fixed.
So we'll start with songs of the year. Clocking in at number 7 for me. It was Fall.
Such an odd number.
Yeah, we're going into top 7 songs of the year now.
Couldn't do 5, couldn't do 10. We're stuck at 7 right
now. well, if Gloria and I had to sit here and figure out 3 more songs each, we were able to push. The original plan was to start the recording at 4, and then we got in the Zoom and we started talking, and we're like, oh, fuck.
While you were working on your list,
my list
minutes.
wasn't done. I was already like 5 or 10 minutes late based on the fact my list wasn't even started. I had a list of albums I liked. That was it. And then we started talking, and we were both like, "Oh fuck, we should like probably make it organized this year." So if we had to add 3 more songs each, we wouldn't have started recording until like 6 or 7 o'clock when we originally were supposed to record this damn thing.
Yeah.
So we're winging it. Top 7. Number 7 is Falling in Reverse is Zombified. Don't give me that look. I like that song.
Wow, you're starting off strong this year, Shane. That is that got me off guard. Okay.
Glory's like, that That's a bold statement.
The hell, dude. This isn't your disappointments list. This is
No.
okay. All right.
No, he didn't
right.
put out a full body of work to put on the disappointments list.
Thank God.
But
no, you would have had it on your honorable mentions. I thought it was okay.
Well, I didn't like the other single that he put out, Voices in My Head, but Zombify just fucking went crazy, bro.
Did not.
I was like defending the hell out of it. Everyone else was like, this song sucks, and I was like, yeah, but actually, if you listen to it and then watch the music video, it's actually pretty good.
If you look into the lore, it's actually really good. it's like a 21 Pilots fans. The music's bad because they're stuck in Dima, guys. They're stuck in Dima.
Yeah, this guy was stuck in like Zombie Land. That's why that's why the rest of the songs are bad.
Oh my gosh,
but I like the song. That's my bold take for the episode. We're just getting that one out of the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 7 was actually Sharia Moore, Love's Not Your Thing.
Nice.
Because I can't help but do the my Sharia Moore can't do. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, Trey. But that was great. I love that song so much. It's one of the best songs of the year, obviously.
Because that song is pretty good.
Yeah.
Number 6, Nothing More's Tired of Winning. I was looking through my last FM roughly 2 minutes before Gloria and I started to record this, and I was like, oh shit, that song came out this year, and I listened to it 100 times. That's probably
from you. That's a lot.
That should probably be on there. After seeing this band live, I'm still not totally in love with their older stuff, but like everything off this new record has really blown me away. So
I just realized this isn't the frame.
I
just realized it was not framed right.
That is why that is number 6.
Number 6. Okay, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. My number 6 is Pierce the Veil's "Past the Nirvana."
Nice.
It was a great comeback single. It is the first song of my first Pierce the Veil album cycle that I'm able to witness. And it just goes hard, like undeniably hard. It's a really good song. It's a good first single. It's kind of sad. I mean, I like Emergency Contact too, but is it my favorite?
No. Anybody that says Emergency Contact is better than Past the Nirvana, it's just wrong.
They're just trying to be special.
Yeah, it's good in its own right, but Past the Nirvana just goes way harder.
It's supposed to.
Yeah.
But Emergency Contact is just like sad. Like it's a good sad song, but like it's not something that you're like, oh, turn this shit up.
Yeah.
You know, like let me rock out to this. No one has ever said that to that.
Number 5, Korn's Let the Dark Do the Rest. This is one of the songs after their record Requiem. Do not look at me like that. I like this fucking band. This was, I think, my favorite song off the record. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed this record. It'll be on one of my other lists. And I don't have much else to say other than I really liked the song and the album.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I had to add a disappointment.
Can you stop?
No, I switched it out.
Yeah. Just took Papa Roach off, put Korn on, you know.
No, actually, Papa Roach is still there and well. Number 5 for me is Pulses and Zach Benson XOX Sold Out. I sold out again. Come on, guys.
It is a banger.
Come on, guys.
It is a banger. Yeah.
It's so good. I love that song so much. I don't know. It banged, and I need more people to listen to it. Thank you.
I agree. Number 4, Data Remembers Miracle. I can't seem to escape this song. It was a great comeback after You're Welcome. So
that was rough. That was a bad
era. that was bad. So they're heavy again. And the song rocks.
That's fair. I'm okay with that. For a second I thought it was from You're Welcome, but that came out last year. So we're good. You're fine. I can't make fun of you for that. My number 4 is Motionless in White, Slaughterhouse. Do I have to say anything else? It's been on repeat for the past 3 weeks. I'm not gonna do a cover of that one like I've done for all the other ones because I'm gonna embarrass myself for that one. So
come on, Glory, do the Brian part.
Got you up, Got you. That's all I got. That's all I got in me right now.
Hell yeah. Number 3, Ryan Oakes and Loveless's Heavyweight. I was the one that was on Twitter yelling that this was Song of the Year. It's in my top 3. It's fucking awesome. We talked to Ryan about the song, and then we wound up interviewing Loveless about the EP they put out as well. So we did talk to both of those artists. But this song, it's so in your face. It's so fucking catchy.
It really is.
It's such an earworm.
Watch what you said. It's, oh my God.
Highly recommend.
Real. It's funny because my number 3 is also a Loveless song. It's Worst Case Scenario.
Yeah, which is another earworm.
Worst Case Scenario. Like, oh my God. If you haven't listened to that song yet, you need to. Like, both of those songs, the Heavyweight and Worst Case Scenario, genuinely some of the best 2 songs that have dropped this year, easily.
So true. Number 2, I got Paramore's This Is Why.
Fuck, I forgot about this.
Yeah. Well, Glory's already having a moment like I had last year where I forgot like Moss of Flames EP on my top 10.
You were very disappointed. Yeah, that was sad.
So she actually reminded me of that. So now I'm disappointed about it again. I put it as number 1 this year.
I know it came out last year.
Yeah, to make up for it. But in all seriousness, I try to keep this like Song of the Year list as close like to both singles that came out and songs that are off records coming out next year. I didn't do a very good job this year, but I like to try to keep it to that because I like to highlight albums that I think are going to slap next year.
Yeah, I mean,
and although I didn't keep it to that, the one song that is on an album that's going to come out next year, I think is going to be on my top 10. The both singles have slapped so far. I was hesitant. Like, I love This Is Why, but I have been hesitant about this project because This Is Why definitely takes on a little bit more of like Haley's solo work, which was not my favorite. I mean, she put out the Phoebe Bridgers-esque second record that I don't like to talk about at all, but that first record was very hit or miss in my opinion.
It was all miss for me.
So I've been worried. But both songs have slapped so far, and I think that this record is it's going to be one of the best to come out next year, and it's going to come out in February and then dominate the year.
I hope so, because I hate when like big artists put out something at the beginning of the year, and then it's like by the end of the year when we're going through our list, I'm like, oh my God, that was this year.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But I mean, it's Paramore. It should take over.
They're only going to do a sold out arena tour off it.
That's what we said about Avril, though. We said Avril was going to come back and it was going to be like the only thing you could hear. And I haven't seen anyone put that album on their top 10 yet.
Because it has Machine Gun Kelly on it.
It does.
Yeah.
And Black Bear.
Yeah. It's just like it's a little too stereotypical, like 2020s pop punk. Are we gonna coin that term now?
2020s pop? No.
Yeah. It's a little too modern pop punk sounding, which isn't very grungy. Good.
Yeah, it's clean. It's not supposed to be.
Yeah, where she shines is in the 2000s pop punk. Like you think the queen of pop punk is going to come back and she's going to like take part in like that pop punk resurgence and like do the 2000s pop punk with like a modern twist on it, but she just like did what Machine Gun Kelly and Black Bear are doing and threw Travis Barker on it. Yeah. I knew we were doomed when she signed. Son. Yeah, I knew we were doomed when she signed to Travis Barker's label. Like, it's never
good.
like that's when we knew we were fucked.
Exactly. The only good one to be signed to Travis Barker's label is Kenny Hoopla signed to Travis Barker? I know he had the album with Travis, but I don't know if he signed. I think that was just a big collab, but that's a big collab for someone who's not even signed.
That's a big collab that didn't suck. No, he's on Mogul Vision Music, which is a division of Sony.
Good for him.
So no.
Okay, I'm okay with that then. Good job, Kenny. Stay away from that. Don't do it. I know it looks good. Don't do it, Kenny. My number 2 is Brockhampton, Big Pussy.
So true.
I
That's all
have
you have
like
to say.
500 plays. Like, I'm good. That's it, man.
That's all you have to say. Big pussy.
So good. Big pussy.
And my number one is the Devil Wears Prada Time. This song just like fucking blew me away. Like from the first time I heard it, I was like, what the fuck is in this? This song is awesome. So yeah, it was a single this year. It wasn't off of the record, it was a single off the record.
There you go.
So it counts.
It does. My number one was Tyler the Creator, Pharrell, and 21 Savage, Cash In, Cash Out. I don't think I have to say anything else, except this is like my dad's favorite song now because I've played it so much.
Nice.
So that's it.
Hell yeah. All right, moving on to the negative part of the episode where we shit on things.
Yeah, me first.
Gloria's gonna start it off.
Number 7, because we're still doing 7. Louis Tomlinson, Faith in the Future. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day was ruined the day that I listened to this. Love the man, grew up with him, but this song, not the song, the album overall. If it was a song, I'd be okay with that, like. But it's an entire album. Really sucked because he wanted to do rock, but he's working with pop producers and pop writers, so it sounds like a bad copy of what a rock record would be. Please work with like rock people, get some collaborations under your belt and learn from those people before you try and do another rock record, because this was not rock. No, at all.
It was not good,
and it was just heartless. It didn't feel like it had his soul in it or whatever. I don't know what you're supposed to say, but it felt empty, basically. Yeah. It didn't feel like he really, I mean, I know he did because like it's his album and like it's art. I didn't feel any connection to it at all. And it was jumbled. The track list was fucked. I don't know what he did with that.
It wasn't.
Every part of it was
wasn't good. Mine is in no particular order. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I just kind of put a list together because I think that I have my own reasoning for each of them. Some of them wishing that the band would just be better. Like the past 5 or 6 records would be better.
I expected more from you.
And others being like records I was actually looking forward to. And but I'll still number it. Number 7 was Machine Gun Kelly's Mainstream Sellout. I just wish that this was better because I liked Tickets to My Downfall. As much as I've sat here and shat on the modern pop punk, I mean, I literally just did it with Avril Lavigne.
Like 2 minutes ago.
Like literally 2 minutes ago. I really did like the record before he like started opening his big mouth and like telling real punks like don't wear sneakers on stage or whatever.
Like, what was that? Like, what was that?
And then like tried to start beef with Corey Taylor.
Of all people, Corey Taylor, like the scariest man in metal. Like, you want, anyways.
And a slew of other things that this man has done, both in the past and in the present. Yes. I did enjoy the record. I haven't went back to that first one kind of since he started opening his mouth because it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah. But I was hoping that like we'd kind of keep with that same trajectory, and he would be the best one, kind of doing this modern pop punk shit. He's not anymore.
No,
he's far from it.
He's trying though.
Yeah, he is trying. This was really boring, and I don't like the first record. Felt somewhat inspired. This album,
because it was new to him.
Yeah, this album did not feel inspired at all. There were a lot of songs on here that were actually boring to listen to. Yeah. So I didn't like this album, and I wanted it to not suck, but I lost faith every single time there was a new single because everyone sucked more than the last.
The only song that was actually good from that album was The Closer, which I think was like Twin Flames or something. I thought that was cute. Other than that, throw the rest of it away.
Yeah, just chuck the record.
Chuck it. We don't need it. My number 6 is Avril Lavigne, Love Sucks. We just spoke about her and how disappointing the album was. Like, you're the queen of pop punk. How did you flop with a pop punk album. Like if you were trying to do like pop or something, I would understand that. But it's like you went for the tackiest pop punk sound, and it really sucked. I might have gone a little bit too hard because considering she still is like the queen and the ruler of pop punk, but it's like, come on, man.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
What are you doing? Like I still like Bite Me though. That
song does go hard.
Yeah, that hits. That hits.
The deluxe edition of that record was better than a majority of the songs that made the cut.
Yeah.
I didn't put it on my disappointments, but I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said. My number 6 was Five Finger Death Punch's Afterlife. This came as a huge disappointment because in 2020 their record F8 made it onto my top 10.
That was rough to hear.
Yeah. I didn't like this album. It was a lot of the same old shit. Like I was actually excited enough, like this record leaked in advance by like a big margin. Like I download, like I used to listen to leaks, but now I don't have the time. I barely listen to
that's true.
I barely have time to listen to the new shit. like we get in advance of a record I'm looking forward to, and like, oh, I'm gonna make time for it, and then it comes out and I'm like,
shit,
I've had it for 2 weeks.
Exactly.
That was like on release night for the first time.
One.
Yeah. No, Devil's Wear Prada is the only one that I like actually made time for. But most of the time, like we had like all these records weeks in advance, and I'm like, well, it's Thursday night, and I finally have time, and it comes out in 4 hours, so I'm just gonna wait. Like I'll be up when it comes out, so I'll just listen to it then.
Yeah.
But like I made time because it leaked so early, and I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, well, I don't have to listen to this when it comes out. I already formed my opinion on this, and it's not going to change. I didn't like it. It was a lot of the same. I thought that like the singles were decent off of it, but the deep cuts were just like there's a reason they weren't singles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're clearly weaker tracks.
They were clearly bad.
They were clearly the worst songs I've ever heard. My number 5 is Slipknot, The End So Far. I'm saying this because, okay, I had very high expectations because I've wanted to get into Slipknot for a very long time.
Okay, they got other records. Go listen to those.
See, and that's the thing. I listened to their other records. I listened to Wank, and then I listened to
doesn't compete with Wank.
I think it was their self-titled that I listened to. They have a self-titled, right? Yeah, I listened to that one. And I was like, this is what I thought Slipknot was. It's a lot more tame than what I was expecting. And for that reason, it is chopped. I just didn't like it.
That's chopped? What are we on fucking Chopped now?
Yes, absolutely, man. That's how you have to deliver your next one, Sam.
Okay. Well, I chopped this one because...
How did you use that wrong? Like, it's so easy. Well, I chopped this, dude.
I chopped this record in half because because I literally saw this album performed live in full, and I still hated it. My number 5, but not in any particular order because this should be higher, is Panic at the Disco's Viva Las Vengeance.
I didn't have that on here.
Yeah, how did you not have that on there?
I hated so many other albums. I genuinely forgot that one existed. Like, so, you said it, and I still forgot.
I was in the minority here when the lead single dropped, Viva Las Vengeance.
I was right there with you.
Yes. Where I was like, this song has potential. Yeah. Like, this is actually pretty good. Exactly.
It's catchy. It's catchy.
Yeah, and then it just kept going. It just kept getting worse. I think
every song sounded like that.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Well, like it kind of like it got progressively worse. I think that a song like Local God is great in the sense of musically, I think it's a great song. Lyrically, I hate it because you don't shit on my boy Ryan Ross.
Why are you coming from my boy, man?
Middle of a breakup is not good.
Makeup sex in the middle of... He just says that for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's really
it's a 3-minute 20-second track, and that's pretty much all you get out of it.
That's it. Yeah.
Don't Let the Light Go Out. It's just...
I don't even know how that one goes.
It's just not very good. And then that's like that. Those were the singles.
Those are awful.
Yes, and then like the record continues because obviously we had to stack the best songs at the top. And when you put your best song number 1, and then it keeps going.
Yeah.
There was
It's really sad.
the something about Maggie is one of the worst songs on the record because he like that's the one where he talks about slitting his wrist, but like it just comes out of nowhere. Like he's just singing, and he's like, "I'm gonna slit my wrist" or whatever.
And it's like, whoa, Brendan!
Holy shit!
Like,
Like,
bro,
I'm sure the canceling got to you. Like, you don't just have to drop them.
You don't have to like tell us that though. Like, respect, like, bro, calm down,
Holy
man.
shit! Yeah, so that was an interesting song, but I just like up until Death of a Bachelor.
Oof, that's a good one.
This band, we use that term
This
loosely.
man.
This man was good. I didn't like Pretty Odd, but other than that,
that's fair.
all of the other records that they've put out were great. Pray for the Wicked was not very good.
I had like 2 songs that I would listen to again. Are they on my playlist? No, but I would listen to them again.
It has more, like when I go and look at the track list, like I hate on the record because it's not very good, but there's a lot of songs on there that are decent. Like not great, not bad, not really what you expect from Panic! At the Disco, not what you want, but they're not horrible songs. Like
Overpass.
I'm not even talking that. I don't like the bottom half of the record. I'm gonna be honest.
Let me see what this looks like.
But I like Hey Look Ma, I Made It. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's with Bebo, right? Your best friend?
Oh yeah. And I've got the Bebo doll and everything.
You should have in your background. Like just like right next to your TV. I think that would be great. That would actually be really good.
Funny.
You should do that. No, just pin him to the wall with like a knife in his chest. Oh my god, wait, that's not a threat to Brendan.
That's a threat to my Bebo. Honestly, like pretty much the first 3 songs on the record, like Fuck a Silver Lining, Say Amen, and Hey Look Ma, like I think most of the singles,
High Hopes.
I think most of the singles out, and High Hopes wasn't a bad song until it was played every fucking place you went.
Yeah, High Hopes
overplayed. It's not necessarily a bad song, it's just overplayed.
I said that last year and I was crucified saying, no, it's a good song. It was just overplayed. And you guys were like, yo, Glory likes High Hopes. Let's all point and laugh at her. And I was like, dude, what the hell is
You know
wrong
what?
with you?
I know I literally just said that, but you could go in the group chat later tonight and say that exact same thing. And I would do the exact same thing to you I did a year ago.
Yeah, you would. You'd be like, dude, that song was ass.
Like, your fucking take is so bad, bro. Like, how do you like that fucking song? Like, Glory likes High Hopes. Glory's a High Hopes enjoyer.
Everyone, Glory likes High Hopes.
And then
King of the Clouds is good.
I was gonna say King of the Clouds, but I think it had a similar syndrome to this record, where now the singles off this record, outside of Evil Last Vengeance, were significantly less strong than the singles off this album. But the singles are very strong, and then the rest of it is so clearly filler that it's just like that's what makes me not like Pray for the Wicked. It's the same reason I don't like this album. I just don't like this album even more because I also didn't like 3/4 of the singles.
That's fair.
So I'm hoping we don't go for however many singles are on the next record, because that's kind of where it's heading. We went from all of the singles to one single being enjoyed.
That's rough.
The ratio here isn't working, and you think that like we've got this artist. He's coming off his biggest song of his fucking career. It's streamed 1 billion times on Spotify. You couldn't escape it.
That's rough.
We get him in with some writers to write another absolute banger and keep the momentum going. But no, we got Star Spangled Banger and something about Maggie instead.
And Sad Clown. Don't forget about Sad Clown.
Exactly. Like it just feels like this record.
Who the fuck is Maggie? His wife's name is like April or something, right?
His wife's name is Sarah.
Sarah. Sarah. It's the same thing. April, Sarah. It's the same thing.
It just feels like there was like zero thought put into this record or the rollout or like the fact that this is like, you know, this artist is coming off of a billion streams off of one song.
Biggest song in their career.
Yeah, exactly. So
his career.
I don't know, like, and then like sometimes I'll go see a record live and then like that'll sell it, and my opinion did not change, honestly. Like I was just there for the half of the set where he played songs I cared about.
Hmm.
And then I just had to sit through
And the
this
Frozen
album.
song.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't play that, unfortunately.
That's like the one show he didn't play it at. What did
Yeah,
you say to him?
I told him if he played that, he was gonna wind up like the Bebo behind me.
Okay, that is a threat to Brendan Urie. We're joking. Allegedly. Is that fucking dumb? Okay. So we were on. Okay, my number 4 is Papa Roach, Ego Trip. Did not enjoy listening to this album. Did not enjoy talking about this album because all I had was album bad. And Shane was like, boo, boo, boo. And then
Yeah.
like that was like 5 minutes of the episode. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. Not a really fan, not a really big fan of Papa Roach. I hear that Jacoby
Jacoby.
Jacoby
Jacoby Shattuck.
Jacoby Shattuck. So hard to not say it.
Jacoby Shattuck.
I said that at the wrong crowd. They got mad at me. They're like, he's actually a really nice guy, dude. What's wrong with you? And I was like, sorry. No, guys.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. You're friends with metal fans now.
It's awful. No, I'm friends with his friends now. And I'm like, dude, you don't tell Jacoby I said that. Don't tell Jacoby.
Jacoby.
Don't tell Jacoby. Don't tell Jacob I said that, man. But yeah, I just didn't like this. I'm sorry, Jacoby.
Should be.
That's all I gotta say.
I waited in line for this album when it dropped for Record Store Day.
That's rough.
Yeah.
What variant did you get? Was it like super limited?
Yeah, whatever the Record Store Day variant was, they had it for Black Friday Record Store Day.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I have it on vinyl now. So it made one of my other lists.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hope it's just honorable. If it's in your top 10, I might have you might end up like your Bebo plushie, man.
Why are you threatening me now?
Okay, sorry.
Is it allegedly? Or
allegedly,
yeah,
allegedly,
yeah,
you might end up like
then
your...
it's fine.
It's in a way, it's good.
My number 4 is Nickelback's "Get Rollin'," solely for the similar to the Panic at the Disco, where the first single they got us all roped in. It was heavy.
It was good.
Yeah. And then the rest of it was country. Like Ford F-150 rock. That's what I kept calling it when you were like, it's country. I'm like, nah, Glory, it's Ford F-150 rock.
Ford F-150 to be specific.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'd be driving a pickup truck, listening to Photograph.
Cowboy hat on.
Yeah, and Photograph.
American flag flying in the back.
Yeah, Photograph and every song off this record except San Quentin. Because that song is too good to be played in my Ford F-150.
Just too heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was like, oh shit, they're gonna be heavy. Like that I was.
They snapped.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Me and everyone else was just as disappointed. Not good. And it's not like the album was like Ford F-150 rock, but somehow good. It was hard to get through.
Is it possible to be Ford F-150 rock and good? I feel like they're on two opposite sides of the spectrum.
I don't know of many bands outside of Nickelback that I would classify solely as Ford F-150 rock.
I feel like Corey Taylor has a couple songs that are Ford F-150.
Yeah, I mean, you got like Corey Taylor. Yeah. I don't know. Like you could play like fucking Limp Bizkit in your Ford F-150.
I can't see a country man, kind of cowboy. I can't see.
No,
a cowboy.
I'm talking like the one like with the dualies, like the two wheels on the back. Like that's the motherfucker that's listening to Limp Bizkit.
Oh yeah, he's listening to all the new metal. Yeah, he got Limp Bizkit, 5 Finger Death Punch, It's Shane. Oh my god, it's Shane driving.
Holy shit!
Shane Good Noise? That's crazy.
Shane Good Noise. I have a Ford F-150 dual wheel truck. Holy shit!
Holy shit! Number 3 for me is Brockhampton the Family.
Yeah, fuck that.
I was gonna also include TM on here, but I feel like I haven't given it enough tries to listen to it. But the Family, I know for a fact, is a disappointment because it's literally just Kevin, which is fine. I like Kevin when it's a Kevin Abstract solo album, but I was promised Brockhampton and I was given Kevin Abstract. But on the opposite hand, we got Big Pussy.
So
true. I mean, you gotta count your
Big Pussy. Yeah.
But I would have been okay if they kind of dropped that. and then was like, okay, it's not on the album, but here's TM. So if they could have just done 2 separate drops, that would have been great.
Or they could have just dropped a Big Pussy and then said, okay, bye, we're done. That's our goodbye
Honestly,
song.
that's a pretty good way to end it. Yeah.
That's a strong way to go out.
That's a good way. Yeah.
I got Palais Royale's Fever Dream coming in number 3.
That's fair.
I didn't like this album. I said it when we talked about it. I enjoyed this band for a little bit, and this album just didn't do it for me. So I that's all I got. It just didn't do it for me. I didn't like it.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, all the songs sounded the same, but it was like a good same for me. It was
you were like,
it's predictable. It's nice.
You're like, all sound the same. I like this album. I'm like, you're so full of shit.
Sometimes you have to have something that it's reliable. All reliable is what they should have named
Big Pussy's the old reliable.
Honestly, it is. I can go back to it and I'm like, kamikaze. Like, I'm like, dude, this is great. This is great.
Someone take where you say you got to have something that's all reliable, and I come in and say Big Pussy's all reliable, and then that's it. You just that's the context. Like, there is no context. That's no context. No context. Someone take that out of context.
Yeah, please take that out of context. You went already. Yeah, you did Pierce the Veil. If I see Pierce the Veil on any disappointment list next year, you will all end up like the people plushie. I'm telling you. Allegedly. My number 2 is Machine Gun Kelly, Mainstream Sellout. Because it was just like, it was really bad. Didn't enjoy listening to it. I did like Twin Flame. I'll give them that. But other than that, it was very difficult to listen to. It was clunky, didn't sound good. I agree with you. His first pop punk album, it sounded a lot more passionate and fresh coming from him. I mean, you got Bloody Valentine from that album. Like, I gotta be happy for it,
Yeah.
But yeah.
My number 2 is 3 Days Grace's Explosions. This was disappointing solely because around the time this album was coming out, I had just seen the band live. I was like, I'm going to get into 3 Days Grace now. Their live show is pretty sick. And then this album came out, and like I liked 2 songs off of it, the first 2 or 3 songs, and the rest of it is just like boring. So yeah, I still kind of jam those 2 or 3 songs because they go pretty hard, but I don't go further than that because I don't like it very much.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I forgot they dropped an album. I'm going to be completely honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's rough. My number 1 is Five Finger Death Punch, Afterlife. I don't know. I just shit on them so much. It was very like easy.
Ford F-150 rock.
Exactly. There you go. No, that's the dual tire thing in the back.
That can be a dually one too. That's fine.
Exactly.
We have to find more Nickelback-esque bands.
No, we have to have more Nickelback-esque bands on the podcast next year. You're no longer doing alternative. We're doing Ford F-150. That's awful. That's my worst nightmare. That is the bad place. But yeah, this album sucked. I didn't like it. I don't like Five Finger Death Punch. Shane, if we do interview them, it's just gonna be you. I'll be completely honest, because
that's fine. I'll talk to him. Yeah. My number 1 is Drag Me Out's Demons Away. It pains me to put this album on here.
That does suck.
Because I was very excited, and I'm not putting it on here because it's like it just sucks. But like,
it's so bad.
Yeah, it was just so bad. I don't like it. I put this on here because I was so amped up. Like they started the rollout when they were still on Sumerian back in like October of 2020, and that song, like, I don't even know if you could possibly live up to the hype that I gave that song, like myself. Like, a lot of this disappointment comes from like the rollout was so long. There was a delay due to it was supposed to come out like at the top of the year, but there was a delay due to what was going on in Ukraine and all that shit because they're from over there. And I just like that song, I think it's the Watch of the Buried is on that record, and that's a great song. But the rest of the album, that was just such a strong song to lead with, and then kind of disappear for a year and a half.
Yeah,
because like, granted, there was all the shit in Ukraine that delayed the eventual release of the record.
Just like a war.
Yeah, a war going on. But they also like dropped that song, and then we're still working on the record.
Mm-hmm.
So there was not a single until like I think the end of 2021 or the beginning of this year. So they kind of just sat on this banger for a very long time, and but yeah, I was just like, I was very excited for the record, and then it came out, and I was like, damn, nothing's gonna match that. So that's why it's my number one disappointment of the year.
That's real.
Yeah.
I mean, it always sucks when you're waiting so long, and then when it finally happens, it's like, this is what I was waiting for. Come on, I mean, they had enough time to like make it good. But,
they had enough time where they could have just like not started the rollout with such a banger until like it was done.
Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
So now we move our way into the honorable mentions category of the show.
I had to add something. I mean, I took something out. I balanced it.
Okay. Remember, we have 13 honorable mentions. So my number 13 is Pollyanna's Slime. This album bangs, and I couldn't get away from it because I worked on the damn thing, for goodness sake. But this record's great. And I might be a little biased, but I do enjoy the entire album, which is good.
That's definitely a win.
I do like this album. I had to put it on there.
You like legally? Like
no, I just had to because I like
down your neck.
No. And also I didn't say it at the beginning, but my honorable mentions is also in no particular order, because if I did order, I tried to. Like I did like a rough order, but if I actually like sat down and like ordered it like from 11 to 23 now, we wouldn't have started recording until tomorrow.
That's fair.
So
Thank you for taking one for the team.
Yeah, I just kind of put them like in batches and just kind of figured it out and did the best I could. So it's in a rough order.
Okay, that's fair. My number 13 is We Came as Romans, Dark Bloom. I wanted this to be in my top 10, but I think I just need to sit with it a bit more because I did like it the first time I listened to it. And I this is basically just a reminder, hey, you should listen to that again, because I'm probably seeing them next year. So possibly, I don't know. Fingers crossed, I think. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, I'm still trying to figure out if I'm gonna go to that tour or not, because I'm like, if I go, that means I'm gonna just like get launched back into shows. But if I don't go, that means I might be able to survive until February, not going to any shows. I'm like trying to save money.
trying to.
So, but we'll see. Number 12 is Dixie's A Letter to Me.
That was this year? Wasn't Dixie on your list last year too?
Yeah, because she put out Psycho.
Dude. That was on your... Yeah, I remember because my brother was like, when he said Psycho by Dixie, did he mean Dixie DeMayo?
Yeah.
And I was like...
So since Gloria's brother is editing this year, yes, I do mean Dixie DeMayo.
Hi, David.
Yeah, hi, David. So I was looking through my Last FM trying to figure out how I should roughly order everything based off of how much I've listened to the records. I have 198 plays on this fucking album.
Dude, that's like 190, like too many. That's like way too many, man. You saw her live.
Yes, I did.
Twice.
I listened to this album before the Motionless in White album. This actually took...
That's ridiculous. You shouldn't have said that.
This record pulled me away from the Motionless album that dropped at the same time because Not Enough is such a fucking banging song. And I just think that I think it's strong. I think the record is strong. It's not amazing, but it's a strong debut, and I'm very excited to see what else she's going to do. And you can keep giving me that look, you just don't get it yet.
I hope I never get it. Respectfully, I don't know if
I just think that the album is great, and everyone should stream A Letter to Me by Dixie.
Don't listen to him, guys. You don't
Listen to
have to do it if
me.
you don't want to.
My take is great.
My number 12 is Pink Shift, Love Me Forever. I really did vibe with that album when it first came out. Shit, I forgot another album. Plus honorable mentions. Who's the one that did the church album? I raved about it, like, to them. We did a promo. Oh my god, give me 2 seconds. This is bad. I shouldn't have started this if I couldn't think of it right now.
Take me to church.
What was that? Like, Witch Fever.
Oh yeah.
Witch Fever.
Yeah.
I fucked with that album hard. That was a good one. That was a really good one. But that's just a bonus one. But yeah, Pink Shift, really liked it, really enjoyed it, and I liked the mixing and production of this album.
So
it was
true.
it was a lot better than their past work. And it sounded like Pink Shift. Like it fit perfectly. So I was very, very happy to hear it.
So true. I definitely agree on the side of like the production. Definitely a lot more palatable, you know.
Yes.
Like they're making punk that like might not be for your average listener, but it's like mixed and mastered so well that like just about anybody can listen to it.
Exactly.
Number 11, Silverstein's Misery Made Me. I do wish that I spent more time with this record. But this actually came out the same day as Stan Atlantic's album, which totally like rocked my world. But I've enjoyed the time I've spent listening to this. I did spend a lot of time with the singles as they were kind of rolling out. And you know, Silverstein, they're an old reliable, you know.
I'd say old reliable, just like Big Pussy.
Exactly. I do love this band, and I do plan to spend more time with this record at some point. But I am enjoying it.
That's real.
Hope to enjoy it even more. Hope to be punching myself that it didn't make my top 10 like 6 months from now.
Yeah, very, very soon. I'm trying to see if. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have it right. All right, my number 11 is Action Adventure Imposter Syndrome. This one banged. I did enjoy this one, and they put their whole action adventure into this album, and I stand by it because this one was really good. It was a beautiful album.
Yeah, I wish you didn't say that or post on our Instagram story.
They loved it though.
They did love it.
They loved it.
Yeah. My number 10 is Lorna Shore's Pain Remains. This fucking album is awesome. I think that Lorna Shore with Will is really what the band needed. It's quite clear because they went from like basements in New Jersey to the Wellmont Theater in New Jersey over like the span of a year and a half, which is pretty nuts. So yeah, no, I'm liking this record. Another one that I have to spend more time with, that got overshadowed by other releases in that same week. Like, you know, there was Boston Manor,
that was a good one.
Sleeping with Sirens, and We Came as Romans that all came out that week as well. And I wound up spending a lot of time with Boston Manor and Sleeping with Sirens. So
we sat down with Boston Manor.
We did.
If you would like to check out that interview.
I mean, you did take away my plug because there are a couple up from here.
Yeah, we spoke to Action Venture. We spoke to, obviously we already said Loveless. We spoke to Pulses about their single. That was crazy.
Pollyanna.
And of course Sharia Moore. Pollyanna. Just to throw the ones that we've already spoken about out there. So go check out our interviews. Yeah. They're pretty good. Yeah. My number 10 is Megan Thee Stallion, Traumazine. I liked this album on first listen, and I've only listened to it once. But I keep hearing songs, just like on Instagram and stuff, like the full songs, just on videos and stuff. And it makes me want to revisit it because I like the bad bitches have bad days too. I think it's called like Anxiety or something, but like that song, it's so like, it's not fun, but it's just a really good song. And I really want to revisit it. And this list is basically a don't forget about this next year. Take this into next year with you. So I liked it, and I'm gonna listen to it more.
So true. Number 9 is The Weeknd's Dawn FM.
God, how was this year?
When that album came out, I was like, this is going to be on my top 10. And then there were 10 heavy records that came out this year that I was like,
Yep.
shit, all of these go way over that.
Yeah.
But I was able to spend a good week where I was like only listening to this because it came out the first Friday of the year. So I love this album. I was able to see him live. He didn't perform a shit ton of songs off of it, but he performed some of my favorites off of the record. And yeah, I am still a Weeknd stan, even if I don't listen to him nearly as much. I gotta be in the right mood, you know. Most of the time I'm like, yeah, I want someone to yell at me, but sometimes I want someone to just kind of be there with me, you know.
Oh,
yeah,
good job, Abel.
Yeah, thanks, Abel.
thanks, buddy, Abel. Yeah, that album was good, except for the Tyler collab, and that's crazy for me to say. Just the you won't sign this prenup. It's still on all my playlists, but you know, I listen to it begrudgingly. My number 9 is LS Dune's Past Lives. I really liked this one. I've listened to it a couple of times, surprisingly. It's just I'm still trying to get used to Anthony Green's vocals, and I think this was the first project that I listened to where I got it. And I was like, oh, I see the appeal for this now. It's good, and it's a super group. We spoke to LS Dunes. If you would like to go check that out. That one we were cheesing the entire time. It was crazy. We were like, it was great. That was a good one.
The publicist actually told me after the fact. He was like, yeah, I could tell you guys were pretty excited about that one. I'm like, you could tell?
You could tell? You get just me?
Yeah, no shit. You could tell? It was obvious? Wow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Number 8 was is Architects, the classic symptoms of a broken spirit.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this record was good. I did enjoy it. It didn't blow me away quite like their last record did. For those that wish to exist was just an incredible record. But I'm okay with like them kind of going a little bit more like radio rock here, because I think they do it some of the best out of all of the metalcore bands that have kind of shifted into this like radio rock, arena rock kind of sound.
Yeah,
I think they're some of the best doing it, so I'm totally okay with a slightly less heavy Architects, because I can always go back and listen to heavier shit anyway.
Exactly.
It's kind of the same topic. It's kind of the same talk we had with Rory from Dayseeker, where it's like, just stop bitching about it. Like the old stuff is there. And I'm sure they'll do 10-year anniversary tours off of the big ones. So
so you'll live, guys. Yeah. You're fine.
You'll live.
My number 8 is Memphis Mayfire, Remade in Misery. That was the one that I was scrambling because it hit me. We spoke to The Voice of a Generation earlier this year. If you'd like to go watch that, it was good, and you were shitting your pants. I think I was shitting my pants like a little bit, but I wasn't like that scared. I was just kind of like, holy shit, Memphis Mayfire, that's crazy. But this was a very, very good album, and it caught me off guard because this is one of the first Memphis Mayfire albums that I've actually been able to listen to all the way and be engaged the entire time. Great album, caught me off guard. Didn't think I was gonna like it this much to actually have it on my honorable mentions, but I did. So yeah,
sure.
Banger alert.
Number 7 is Boston Manor's Datora. This fucking shit like totally blew me away. As Gloria said earlier, we spoke to the band. I just think that although there's really only like 4 songs on this album, there are a couple interludes as well. It's so strong, and like this isn't an album where I can sit down and like just listen to the song, like the actual tracks on the record, because like those songs in and of themselves were fine, and as they were coming out as singles, I'm like, these are fine. Like this is kind of how I feel about really all of the stuff. Like there's always been a couple of songs where I'm like, really like, holy shit, like they did it, and then the rest is just kind of like, I like this band. But listening to this collective body, game changing. Like they really bring you in the atmosphere with those interlude tracks. So if you're going to listen to this, I highly recommend a front to back listen.
At least just for the first time.
Yeah,
they did good with that one. My number 7 is 5 Sauce, 5 Seconds of Summer, 5 Sauce 5. I thought this was good enough that I bought the record. the day it came out and got it delivered the day it came out. Thank you, Walmart.
Oh, Walmart.
Right? Shout out Walmart. um, but yeah, it was good. I liked a lot of the singles that came out with it. I liked the album overall. I just haven't revisited it, but I have a very good lasting impression of I really really enjoyed this. I just need to revisit it. So I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Number 6, Set It Off's Elsewhere.
Oh shit, that was this year?
That was this year.
Wow.
I spent a lot of time with this album earlier in the year, for reasons that I can't say. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this record. It's fun. Like, and I think that they just keep getting better with every album they've done, because I really liked Midnight, and I really haven't listened to much of the earlier stuff, but I've dove into some of it because I've caught them live a handful of times, and I think that stuff is fine. But I thought that Midnight was stronger, like when I saw them during that era, and I think that this shit's even better. And I wish that they would like play even more songs off of it. Like, just I honestly wish they'd play the record front to back.
Yeah.
But
especially on their Elsewhere tour.
Yeah. Well, I don't always expect the band to like play, you know, the album in full on the album branded tour, because that's not normally what happens.
I mean, that's how it should be.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I just wish that like it was more than like just the singles, you know. So yeah, I enjoyed this album a lot.
It was a good album. Yeah, I completely forgot that was this year. The thing we spoke about and the album, crazy. Number 6 for me is Origami Angels 2 EPs. I just slapped them together because together they make an album. Depart and then Return completely caught me off guard. I loved that one side was kind of brighter, and the other side they devolved into chaos.
That was crazy.
It like I remember listening to it and be like, oh my god, new Gami tonight. And then as soon as I finished the one EP, they had already put out the other EP, and I was like, wait a minute, what's going? It was crazy. I love this. I love this this EP, the double EP, a lot, and it's very good. They need to do more heavier things, because Ryland Screaming was not on my bingo this year at all.
That shit was nuts. Number 5, Memphis Mayfire's remade Misery. As Roy said, we spoke to
the voice of the generation.
We spoke to Maddie Mullins.
Maddie, that's the name.
But I like this record. My biggest gripe with it was that they dropped everything as singles.
Yeah.
So when it came out, I was like
2 years later.
Yes, a year later, pretty much a year from the first single. That was even one of the questions that we asked them.
Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
He was very kind. It was good.
I was like, yeah, like this album's great, and I'll spend some time with it. But like, I've already, you know, the songs I really like off this album I've heard 100 plus times already. Like so that's why like I was toying with like putting it on my top 10, like lower on the list. But that just like that kind of bumped it to the honorable mentions just because of that rollout.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
And there were so many bangers on here that I spent a lot of time with like each song individually, which is why I'm like confident in saying I didn't spend a ton of time with the record itself as a whole, but I spent enough time with the album where I can confidently say it can be high up on my honorable mentions list. We also interviewed the guy, for goodness sake.
I missed him. Come back on the podcast. Maddie. Is his name Matthew? Matthew, come back on the podcast.
No, I'm not on a first name basis with the guy.
Matthew Mullins. Sound like a teacher. Matthew Mullins to the principal office. No love for the middle. Oh fuck! I was trying to say it like a topic. My number 5 is No Love for the Middle Child. Say It Like You Mean It. This was surprisingly really good. I didn't expect to like it as much to put it on my honorable mentions, but after revisiting it, I was like, oh yeah, this is good. And then we spoke to No Love, and it was really fun. I got to rant about Fig Newtons, and he agreed. He listened, and that's all I asked for.
True. Number 4, Sleeping with Sirens, Complete Collapse. This album's fucking slapping. We're getting to the point of my list, like the last 5, where like if there were 5 more spots on my top 10, and I made it a top 15, and if it was a top 15 that I called a top 10, these 5 records would have made it on. This album's fucking crazy. they kind of started the rollout with Bloody Knuckles without announcing the record, and then they announced the record with Crosses that had Spencer from Under Oath on it, which is just a nutty song. That shit's crazy. And honestly, probably one of my favorite Sleeping with Sirens songs to date.
That's great.
Yeah, but overall, it's a great record. As we've said when we talked about it, there are a lot of collabs on here that, like, on paper don't make a shit ton of sense, but they make sense, you know, when you actually listen to the song, and that's another reason why this record's awesome.
The Charlotte Sands one still does not make any sense to me,
but it's fucking awesome. I also
fair.
learned that Loveless has a co-write on that. Julian has a co-write on that song.
Julian?
Yeah.
That's bro is everywhere.
Yeah.
He's crazy. I love him. I love him so much. My number 4 is the Somerset Blossom. I liked this. I liked this a lot. As I said, I don't know if I said it in an interview, but I know when we covered it, I said it reminded me a lot of The Main, and just kind of like that summery, sunny, you know, sunroof open, windows open, like cruising, whatever music. And it's good. It's crazy how they kind of dropped it like in fall. But you know,
I think I said that to you when we were listening to it, like before the interview. I was like, "This is such a summer record coming out in the fall."
Fall, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys listen to your record? Because this makes no sense.
And then they're gonna tour off it in the spring. You know?
It's like you're missing. You're completely missing
the summer
point,
market here.
It's crazy, but very, very good record.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys.
It is. My number 3 is Belmont's Aftermath. I forgot that this album came out until I was sifting through my last FM. This fucking album is just balls to the wall, fucking crazy ass shit. Like, this is my favorite Belmont work to date. I love the debut record. I love the EP that came out in 2020, but this shit is just like on another level. It's so great. I really liked it.
That's good. I also forgot that this came out. That came out this year.
Yeah, and I spent like more than a week with it, because like my problem this year was like there was so much music coming out from so many bands and artists that I like. Like, it's not just that we listened to too much music; it's the fact that we were listening to a lot of music that like is bands I would already listen to. So like for me to spend more than like a week with a record was like fucking unheard of.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like, that's impossible.
So, yeah.
My number 3 is Dwayne, My Favorite Blue Jeans. Again, liked this album. Didn't stick like how Stains did, but I do really want to revisit it, and I probably will very soon, because everything Dwayne does is just fucking crazy. He's really good. He's really good. Again, that I don't know how collab is still makes no sense, but he made it work.
It's awesome.
He made it work.
That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
If I had turned my top 13 honorable mentions into like a top 20, that album probably would have made my list. But if I made this list any longer, we'd be sitting here until 8 o'clock. So I'll just agree with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Number 2 is Papa Roach's Ego Trip. Keep it quiet over there, Glory. I like this album. I'm hoping to catch them this year on tour. So far, the luck is 0 on that. They're playing like a D markets.
They're trying to save you, man.
Yeah, they're playing like Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, I love Wichita.
And a place in Pennsylvania I didn't know existed that is way too far from my house. So yeah, but I'll catch him this year. I swear I will. I'll send you videos when I do. You
don't have to. Just Jacoby running around on stage. That's all I need to see.
But I did enjoy this record. It like when the singles were dropping, I was Team Glory on this one. I was like, this record's not very. This isn't very good. But as once I listened to the entire record, I was like, nah, Glory's wrong, and I'm right.
Wow.
This album's pretty good.
Disgraceful. That's disgusting. My number 2 is Mothica Nocturnal. If I had more spaces on my album of the year list, because this is album of the year worthy, honestly, it's just a lot of good albums came out this year. Surprisingly, I was looking through the list and I was like, oh my god, I actually liked a lot of. Surprisingly, I liked some music this year, guys.
That's unheard of. You had 7 disappointments.
But I really liked this album, and it was really good.
True. And then my number one honorable mention is Bad Omens, The Death of Peace of Mind. This fucking record is great. What?
It's not on your top 10.
No, because I did not spend nearly as much time with it as I wanted to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like there are records that came out that I either spent more time with or just enjoyed more. I really like this record and I really like this band, but part of why I didn't spend so much time with it is because like I really like the self-titled album, their first record, because that is like that was my Currents before I found Currents. Like fucking like bro is sad. Bro needs a sad album to listen to, and like
Someone Check on Shane.
Exactly, kind of that kind of record. And their sophomore album I liked, but I like the bonus tracks the most because those are the most like right to the heart.
The Bebo plushie.
Yeah, exactly. These songs, there's really nothing that stands out to me like that, you know. So that's kind of like what drew me to Bad Omens to begin with. So we took away the thing that drew me, and it's a great album, and I love this band, and I love seeing that they've blown up, and the fact that I got to see them 3 times this year. That's 3 times, yeah, 3 times this year is fucking awesome. And like each time they were getting bigger. Like they went from opening a 2,000 cap room with
Ice Nine Kills,
Under Oath. Well, no, I saw them in the same. Yeah, I saw them at Starland with Ice Nine Kills sold out, and then I saw them draw a good chunk of people to the Under Oath tour because a good chunk of kids were there for Bad Omens and Spirit Box, and then the crowd thinned out for Under Oath.
That makes no sense.
And then I saw them open a 5,000 cap outdoor spot for a Day to Remember, and then I saw them play 1,000 cap sold out room. So they've had a pretty huge year.
Yeah,
they've done all right for themselves, and it's been great watching that. And I do think that although I might not have, at least with this record, my Stab to the Heart album, I think that it's great. I just have to like find the right reason to listen to it, because my current reason, I've got that album and a new band.
Yeah.
Go do that too. You know?
New sad band unlocked.
Yeah.
My number one is Save Face, Another Kill for the Highlight Reel.
Oh my god.
This is not a joke.
I'm glad it was I'm glad it was on the honorable mentions, because I was thinking in the car, I'm like, if she actually put that as number one,
right there.
Yeah, if she actually put that as number one, because you were talking about doing it.
Yeah.
We were gonna have to scrap the entire episode, start from scratch, and you were gonna have to go make a new list, because I wasn't gonna let that happen. So
1 through 10, Save Face Deluxe.
I'm okay with it being the honorable mention, because I think the idea of a deluxe album, especially one that came out for a record that came out last year, is cheap being your number one album of the year. So I'll let it be the number one honorable mention. I have no complaints about that.
You're
especially
so
a record that doesn't have any new songs on it. If it had new songs on it, different story.
Exactly. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, number one, honorable mentions. I love you guys. You're doing great. Come perform in my backyard.
All right, and now we're moving into the top 10s.
A big one.
My number 10 is Avoid's Cult Mentality. We spoke to Benny, and then Chris got added into the interview at the end there. We spoke to the record, about the record with Benny, and then we did the funny questions with Benny and Chris. This album is just like fucking insane. I had heard so much about this band and had not checked them out until I was like, oh, we're interviewing them. Like, we should probably listen to them. Slept on this band so fucking hard.
Yeah.
This fucking album is incredible. I really haven't stopped listening to it since it came out. It's fucking incredible. It really is. We spent an hour with Benny, and you should go watch it, because it's one of the craziest interviews we've ever done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was a murder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we talked about the chaos that went on with the record,
with recording the record.
Yeah, and then it went completely off the rails with the funny questions at the end.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really good one. My number 10 is Fame on Fire, Welcome to the Chaos. This one was really good. I've listened to it a handful of times, and I keep going back because honestly, I love the world building, like loose world building albums, and it's just kind of like how it welcomes you into the album, obviously with the title track. It's just when they do that, it's perfect. It's exactly like how Ice Nine Kills did Welcome to Horrorwood, where it's like like welcome to the world. That I don't it makes me really happy, and I like it a lot. And we spoke to Film on Fire.
We did.
So that was really cool.
My number 9 is Mothika's Nocturnal. I know
I'm surprised it isn't higher.
There were just so many good records this year. And this one also kind of came out of the blue for me. And I know you wanted to say it when you brought it up as your honorable mention.
Yes.
It will be announced by the time that this goes out. So we spoke to Mothika.
We spoke to Mothika.
We can fucking say it, dude. It finally happened.
Dude.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Bro. So obviously I said great thing. I've been saying great things about her all year. I loved all the singles. I loved the record when it came out. And then I just kind of I moved on because there was other shit. It came out in the middle of the summer, and there were a million other things to go listen to from bands that I was really excited about shit. I was excited about her and what she was doing, but I was like, I want to go. The fucking there's other shit like that. I fucking I don't know. There's all sorts of bands.
And also, as you said earlier, it's it's very rare for us to be able to kind of hook onto an album because we have so many other albums that we have to listen to.
Yeah.
Especially because there were a couple weeks where it was back to back with stuff we've been looking forward to. So it's obviously it's going to be pushed back into the queue of I'm going to listen to this later because we have a 10-hour playlist looking at us.
Well, yeah, it's I spend Monday through Thursday. Well, really it's Tuesday through Thursday listening to either new stuff or unreleased stuff for the podcast. Yeah. I spend my Sunday into my Monday, sometimes my Sunday into my Monday, definitely my Monday, listening to all of the new stuff that came out that last week. Yeah. And I really only get Friday and Saturday to listen to the stuff that I was excited for and really, really dive into it.
Indulge into it.
Because the rest of it is all right, well, I'm finally done for the day, so I'll just I'll throw that on because that's what came out this week, and then my Spotify changes over because it's a new week, and now there's new stuff in front of me,
Exactly.
So I hate that that's what it's come to because I really like spending time with records, which is why I'm looking forward to a month off where I can go spend time with everything this year that I've told myself that I was going to spend more time with.
My entire honorable mentions list is going to be my repeat.
Pretty much, yeah. So this was one of those records where if we did not get the opportunity to interview her, it would be falling into the honorable mentions category where I would be checking it out. But we had an interview confirmed many weeks ago, and I listened to the record a couple times then, and then it got confirmed again, and I listened to it a couple more times, and then it finally got confirmed it happened. And I listened to the album a couple more times after that. So I was already, I listened to this album 6 or 7 times already.
Exactly.
And since we did that interview, it's the 19th. We did the interview on last Thursday, so the 13th. It's pretty much been the only thing I've listened to. I've only stopped listening to it because I was getting ready for the Lorna Shore show, and then I threw that shit.
That's a switch.
Yeah, and then I threw that shit right back on. I finished Lorna Shore, the show was over. I go back to my car. I threw this fucking record on. So, pretty much nonstop with this album. It's fucking awesome, and I've actually been listening to the deluxe edition.
That's good. It's good
because I think that the songs on the back half of the record, the deluxe songs, are just as great as the normal songs, which is rare. Usually it's the songs were fine, but these songs are just as good, if not some of them being better. So absolutely. I'm here for it. I desperately need to see her live. That's all.
Yep. Agree. She's not coming to Virginia, though, I can tell you that. For another 5 years. She's not even gonna look at Virginia.
You can travel.
Actually, I probably would from Africa. My number 9 is Dark Divine, Halloween Town.
True.
This EP, it's an EP, it's not an album, but I don't care. I'm putting on my album of the year list. Get used to it because there are a couple more EPs on here. This EP, I actually found it because Ricky featured on one of the songs. I think it was the second. No Escape. I think it's the second track on the EP. And I listened to it and I was like, holy shit. Holy cow.
Holy crap.
Holy smokes. Holy crap. This is immaculate. I gotta listen to more of this. Then we put the EP on the playlist. I remember you're like, you just put this on because of Ricky. And then you liked it too.
Yep. But I reached out about an interview.
Actually, I reached out for an interview.
I thought it was...
That was me. Oh wait, no, you did. I reached out
Yeah.
about
Like,
oh shit.
I was
No, because
like,
I thought I did.
I was like, I liked it so much, I hit the band up.
Because I saw the interview request and I was like, did I do that? Did I do that? It was uh oh my god, it was Burn, Breathe, Repeat.
Burn of the Sky.
Burn of the Sky. There you go, because that was their album that they're leading up to. But really liked it. Really enjoyed it. I've listened to it at least like 20 times all the way through. Genuinely just a really solid EP. And it's crazy because the Ricky song isn't even my favorite. It's great. It's
True.
great. Another world building album where it's like welcome to Halloween. They say it like at the end of the album. It's like the EP. They say it at the end of the EP. It's like it's like a radio or something playing and it's talking about Halloween Town. And that's what made me love the EP because I was like, they did the thing.
They did the thing. They did the thing that I like.
So yeah, that was it.
True. Number 8, LS Dunes, Past Lives. This fucking album is great. It's kind of exactly what I expected. When I saw that we put 5 great musicians in a room together and said, "Go make a record."
Go do something.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And I've been spending a lot of time with it. I was very excited to see them live. I think they put on a great live show, and I'm excited. I'm excited for more. I see them again in May at Jason Fest, so I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to spending time on the beach because there are a lot of great bands on that lineup.
A lot of sand.
Yeah,
too.
a lot of sand in my butt cheeks, but at least I get to see LS Dunes.
How did that get there?
Maybe I'll be sitting on the sand, Glory. And it gets in my butt cheeks because I'll be wearing shorts because it's going to be hot out.
Absolutely not, man.
It's going to be a lot of chafing from all the sand in my butt cheeks.
Just wear the pants, man. Just wear the pants.
Wear jeans, 100-degree weather in the fucking sand.
Hey, man. Everybody else is going to be there doing that. My number 8 is actually Avoid, Cult Mentality.
Real.
I fucked with this album, and then also after talking to Benny about it and Chris for 20 minutes, I was like, okay, I like this band a lot. It's chaotic good energy, and the album, honestly, it stuck with me. I really liked it. I liked it again more than I thought I would because it's a new artist, and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are about. And then I was like, oh,
you're about that.
Yeah. You're about that. Yeah. Cool. Perfect.
Number 7 is Slipknot's The End So Far. It's definitely not anywhere close to We Are Not Your Kind. If we were doing this podcast in 2019, We Are Not Your Kind probably would have been my album of the year that year. That fucking album is incredible.
Very good.
There's no song on here screaming ear sex at me quite like that record. But I think that it's great in its own right. I spent some time with it, obviously. And I enjoyed it. I just wish that they would play more fucking songs off it live. Granted, they're currently playing in like Brazil, so I can't be there.
Oh my god, they went to Brazil.
They did go to Brazil. They're currently spending some time in South America, so I can't be there. But I'm hoping that the next time they do any sort of US tour that comes to my backyard, they will be playing more songs off this record. But I enjoy it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I mess with it a lot, but I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It's just it wasn't what I wanted.
Fair enough.
I'm being completely honest. Like it wasn't. I shit on it, but it's like it was just.
It wasn't Corey Taylor letting his solo work bleed too much into the new stuff. Like he's keeping that to himself. So for that, I give them 9 billion points.
Like, the bar is in hell. The bar is in hell. Oh my god. My number 7 is Dayseeker, Dark Sun.
True.
This album was immaculate. Again, new artists that I personally have never listened to before we spoke, and it was good. It's my favorite kind of sound right now, my favorite genre. So if you're mad about that album, maybe just like go find something new because this is good and they should keep doing this if they want to. Do whatever you want, man.
I was actually listening to Dream State this morning because I throw on my metalcore mix on Spotify, and that song was in there.
That's good.
So yeah, I was listening to Dream State this morning. That's my 2 cents on Dayseeker.
Thank you.
Number 6 is Stan Atlantic's Fear, Fuck Everything and Run. This fucking album completely blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
This is what pulled me away from the Silverstein album.
Yeah.
They just keep getting crazier with every album. They really do. They were almost my 2020 album of the year, only beat out by an EP, the Bring Me the Horizon EP, which is totally valid. But
if they didn't have Drink to Drown slapped in the middle, I'm pretty sure it would have had a better chance.
No, because that EP was still fucking incredible.
Oh, never mind. Sorry,
there was nothing beating that. But yeah, no, this album was great. They just keep getting like heavier with every single album, but not like easy core heavy. It's just like more like I guess it's not like total breakdowns. It's just more aggressive with every album. Like they keep getting faster and more aggressive, and it's just like I'm here for it. Like I'm waiting for the breakdowns, not like the easy core breakdowns. I'm waiting for fucking a metalcore record from this fucking band.
Like a call out, and then everything just kind of
exactly
like
that. Yes. But this fucking band is awesome, and I'm excited to see where this record takes them. I mean, so far it's taken them on tour with I Prevail and Pierce the Veil, so I'd say that's a pretty good first step.
Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent. My number 6 is Sharia Moore, Spiritual Ascension.
True.
Love this album. I got to see him three times. I think it was twice this year, maybe 3 times. I don't know. And I got to hear a couple of these songs live. It was obviously before it dropped, but just hearing them try out the new singles, and you kind of see them like a little nervous up there. It's good. It's good seeing them evolve. We spoke to Sharia Moore. Obviously. I'm pretty sure I already said that. I mean, they're welcome on the podcast anytime. Come back on the pod right now, guys.
True.
Live from tour. Actually, that just ended yesterday. But album's very good. One of the songs, the leading single, was one of my favorite singles to drop this year, honestly. And On Deck is still my favorite. I listened to it again like earlier, and I was like, I don't understand how this isn't like one of the more popular songs off this album. But it's okay. They'll come around to it. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that this album, that album's pretty good. I'm so bummed because I could have seen them a grand total of 5 fucking times this year, but I only got 3 because the first time that I was supposed to see them, when they came to Philly with Point North, I bought the ticket like 2 days before, and then that was when the violent illness started, was that night.
Yeah, I remember. That was very sad.
I couldn't see them then, and then I didn't want to drive like 3 hours into Pennsylvania. I was promised a Philly date. I got nowhere near Philly.
They lied.
Yeah, I got lied to. So here's to catching them 5 times next year, since I didn't get to do it this year. My number 5 is Motionless in White, Scoring the End of the World.
It's that low?
Glory, you don't understand.
Literally nothing else came out this year, like from your list.
There are some total fucking bangers in slots 1, 2, 3, and 4 that beat this album out. I enjoyed this record. I think that it is pretty good. I honestly think that the singles might be some of the weaker songs on the album, in my opinion. They are a little more, they definitely went like, let's see how radio rock we can go while still being heavy.
Push the boundaries.
But those were like the beginning singles for the record. Like we had Cyber Hex, and obviously their huge song now, Masterpiece, which I think is just a shallow version of Another Life. Nothing can beat that fucking song.
No, Another Life is so good, dude.
But then we have singles like Slaughterhouse, and now that the record's out, it has a music video, so it's technically a single now. Werewolf. Songs like that are crazy, and then there's obviously Red, White, and Boom, my favorite song off the record, next to Slaughterhouse. There's plenty of heavy songs on here, but those couple of songs that I mentioned were just kind of made me kind of like whatever about the record for a bit there. So I didn't spend nearly as much time as I wanted to. Plus, we kept moving. And I was like, holy shit, there's even crazier shit that's out. So this one, as excited as I was, I kind of like forgot about it for a bit, which was like sad.
Yeah, that's sad
But
because they're one of your favorite bands.
yeah,
They're like top 5, right?
yeah, but it's also like not my go-to record. I'm like, I'm gonna listen to Motionless in White. Like, I love all of their albums, so like I'll just go listen to one of the other ones. But this record was definitely good enough to get in the top 5. There were just too many bangers to make it to the top 3.
That's fair.
Maybe if I hadn't re-listened the Under Oath record on my drive home from work, this album would have been higher. But I re-listened the Under Oath album and I forgot how fucking good it was. So I had to make a couple of switches to the list I hadn't started making yet.
That you made in your head,
Yeah.
but you hadn't really switched over. My number 5 is, this is probably gonna catch you off guard, but it's Nightlife, Fallback. I was looking, huh?
No, it doesn't catch me off guard.
It doesn't catch you off guard. Okay,
No.
I thought you were like, I don't know.
No, you putting like Papa Roach at number 5 is what would catch me off guard. Not you being like, not you being like an EP that absolutely slaps is my number 5.
It was
like
fucking amazing, yeah. Well, stay tuned for Papa Roach. You will be seeing them very soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's literally 5 tracks. But dude, the lasting impression that it's had on me, and also I've revisited it a couple of times, and it's still as good as it was the first time. It makes me very happy. I really liked it. And I'm pretty sure we didn't even get when we first listened to it, because I listened to it a couple of times. The first time we listened to it, we didn't even get like the finals, right? He was still working on it.
Yeah, I was begging him for it and he was like, I can get it to you. Like, we'll have to move the interview.
We were like, that's fine.
Yeah. Hey, it's like we'll have to move the interview if you want to hear the EP. So yeah, we heard mixes, yeah.
Yeah, but hey, you guys killed it.
True.
It's very, very good. Very good.
Number 4 is I Prevail's True Power. This fucking record blew me away. I thought that Trauma was good, but this album is just like even more in your face. Like, as much as they are like big on the radio and like they kill it on Sirius XM, I feel like this album was heavier than their last stuff that really sent, which is weird because like that album really put them on the map, and then they're like, we'll get a little heavier for this one, where like even the more radio friendly stuff and like the really big songs on radio are still rockier than like heavier than some of the other songs off their last record. So I've been just absolutely loving every second of this album. Choke is absolutely my favorite song off the album. Shit goes crazy. It was crazy live too.
Crazy stupid.
But yeah, there's really no song on here where I'm like, ugh, you know, because that's sometimes how I feel about like these more like Octane-esque bands, where like I love a majority of the album, but then there's a couple of songs that like they're the ones that are getting big airplay, and it's not because I've heard them. Well, I have heard them a million times, because those are also the ones that come on the Spotify radio when you're done listening to an album. Like, you could just finish listening to that band and that's the song that'll come on. But I just am like, ugh. As much as I love Octane Core.
No. that's another hot take. Dude, you're going down the path that rocks right now. You like Ford F-150 rock. You like, actually no, you don't because that's Nickelback. Yeah. So we're good from that. Okay, never mind. My number 4 is Loveless, End of an Era.
True.
Dude, in the middle of the night. I can't even compare to Julian's vocals.
No, you can't.
But I try. I get pretty close.
Pretty close. Yeah, sure, Lori.
Why don't you believe in me, Shane? The hell. But yeah, dude, this album is amazing. A lot of replay value, honestly. One of the best things to come out this year. And it's crazy because I knew it was coming out because I couldn't get away from Julian. Every time I went on TikTok, when I had TikTok, I have it again. I would just scroll and it would literally just be like Julian's face, and like that's all I saw. So like I knew the album's coming out. I had heard Worst Case Scenario in the middle of the night. I've heard all the covers, and I was like, okay, cool. And then until we actually interviewed Loveless Julian, I was like, holy shit, like this album is good. Like this is the first time I listened to it, and you completely killed it. But yeah. I would like more songs, and thank you.
Yeah, that was an EP that after Gloria and I did that interview, we were both listening to that a lot after the interview.
It's classified as an album. on Spotify. That's why I had it written on my thing as EP and it says album. So
He called it an EP.
it's 9 tracks. That's an album,
I'm
Julian.
just going off what he called it. Okay.
Well, Julian, maybe you need to reconsider everything.
I'm checking.
Are you okay? I'm going off of Spotify. But 9
I'm
tracks.
going off what I put EP because that's what he called it.
That's crazy. A 9-track EP.
Yeah.
Why would people prefer to market it as an EP versus an album? That makes no sense.
I don't know. Let's just get him back on the podcast and ask him again.
Like, dude, what was that?
What the fuck were you thinking,
Why
bro?
would you do that? But yeah, that's it.
My number 3 is Under Oath's Voirus. As I said, I was listening to this album on my way home from work, and I remembered how fucking awesome it was. And there was also just like a feeling I can't quite describe that I had the first time I listened to this record, that really instilled it as one of my favorites this year. Going out and buying a bunch of the fucking vinyl pressings and shit, it was crazy. We also spoke to Spencer, and I damn near shit my pants during that.
A crazy one.
But yeah, this album's great. Highly recommend.
That was good. We started the year with Spencer, right?
Yeah, it was that Thursday, the first week we came back. Yeah.
That makes me very happy. That makes me very, very happy. Go us. Here's to doing that again.
True.
Spencer, come back. Hey, Spencer, come on the podcast again. My number 3 is 1975, Being Funny in a Foreign Language.
You know what's funny, Glory?
And saying in a foreign language.
Yeah,
okay.
I can't say in a foreign language, but I can say that this episode is now cut short because you just dropped a bad take. Bad take alert.
Bad take
right here.
But no, truly, I really like this album. I've added the entire album to my my main playlist, my master playlist. I really liked it a lot. I wanted to see him on tour, but they aren't coming anywhere near Virginia.
I wouldn't recommend that tour anyway.
I won't be kissed by Matty Healy this year, guys. We'll get him next year. Should have been me. It's fine. We're good though. We're good. It was a very good album though. Honestly, I fucked with the vibes. Was not at all what I expected to have in my top 3, considering my top 3 last year was all rock and metal and Tyler, which is rap. But like not this kind of like soft boy, like 2 chords and then like his little vocals. Like that's not at all what I expected.
It was fine. My number 2 is Korn's Requiem. Yeah.
Bad take alert.
I love Korn and I love this album. 9 straight banging tracks. I wish it was longer. That's my only complaint.
There was more.
I'm hoping for more next year, because this album was far too short. But I love Korn.
I actually thought it was way too long.
It was only like 25 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like, come on, guys, bring back 30-minute records. Come on. My number 2 is Motionless in White, scoring The End of the World.
Nice.
Honestly, incredibly awesome album. And can you tell I'm getting tired?
Yeah.
I'm getting very tired. Great album. I love every song off of it. I don't know what I was talking about when I said Broadcast from Beyond the Grave was my favorite track. Slaughterhouse is my favorite track. Because it's incredible, and I didn't think I was going to like that heavy of a song. But apparently I got on the wrong side of TikTok and people were like, that song isn't even heavy. And I was like, okay, what are y'all listening to?
How the fuck is it not heavy? Like, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, sure. It's not Lorna fucking Shore.
It's not death metal.
But it's a fucking metalcore band.
Yeah.
Made a song like that.
Yeah. I don't get it. So that made me a little insecure because I was like, dude, this is like the heaviest song I listened to. Because it is. And it's one of my favorites. I mean, it was in my song of the year thing. But honestly, the entire album's great. And again, that world building in an album that was easy enough for me to pick up on. Because when I'm listening to albums, I listen to it. And if you make it super obvious, like with Cyberhex, they led with hey, we're in a world where, it's an apocalyptic type scenario. So I was like, okay, I get it. I
Yeah.
see it, guys. I'm following along. I can follow along.
For those of you following along at home.
But yeah, Cyberhex should have been. No, that was
that was the
that was
lead
this
single.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's a bonus single that I liked.
All right, yeah, we'll just go back an hour.
Let's just rewind it.
And my number one is The Devil Wears Prada's Color Decay. We spoke to Mike about this album. I'm still shitting my pants about that. Many months later, I literally traveled like 300 miles round trip to see this goddamn band. So this album is great. Really checks all the boxes on all the emotions, but I said it in the interview, and like just vocally, bro, like the emotion that you can feel through these songs is insane, and that's why it's number one. I fucking love this band a lot.
That's great. I'm very happy that's your number one, because I was in my head, I was like, what is he missing? What is something that he
pretty sure I told you it's going to be my number one.
You did, but it's like I told you my number one. Do you know what it is?
Oh.
Exactly.
No,
so there you go.
No, I know. No, I remember. You know? Yeah.
Oh.
Can I guess it before you say it, or do you want to say it?
You could say it.
It's Kendrick Lamar, right?
Yeah. My number one is Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. This album is very good. I like the topics that it covers. Black men going to therapy. It's a thing that Atlanta also covered, which I appreciated. But for whatever reason, we don't like to go to therapy. Not me. I'm not a black man, but it's like, come on, guys, let's do a little better. So I'm happy that Kendrick is able to kind of speak on that and his experience with therapy. And honestly, seeing this live was incredible. I'm pretty sure like it was like a good 10 minutes of me just raving about the show, the Monday after. But it felt like a performance, because there was choreography. It had like stuff playing on the screens. Like, it was crazy. It wasn't just him on stage, like running around for like 2 hours, which would have been cool. I would have ate that up. I would have been like, dude, he killed it.
Dude.
But
ran
it's
a
like
marathon on stage.
Exactly. Like, look at him, man. Burned 2,000 calories in 30 minutes. That's awesome. But genuinely, like, I loved every part of this album, and I wouldn't change a thing. And this is the first Kendrick album that I've like followed along, because I mean, everybody knew Damn, because everybody knew Humble. You know, the Nobody Pray For Me. You know that song. You don't even listen to rap. But it's like, it's just a great album. I can't stop talking about like how much I was watching all the music videos earlier today, and I was like, yes, this deserves number one.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Fair enough. Well, that's our lists. Our close to top 10 lists as we're gonna get. Next year we'll try harder.
Yes.
No promises. But we really appreciate all of the support this year. It's been the craziest year yet. Interviewed artists that we never in a million years thought we were going to get. A lot of phone calls between Glory and I, yelling at each other, not yelling at each other in a bad way, yelling at each other like, what the fuck?
That was 2020.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
Like, we had a lot of those conversations, and it's a nice feeling to keep having those conversations as repetitive as those conversations get. It's always great to have them, because the artists that we talk about in those conversations only get bigger.
Yes.
So it's been a good year, and I'm looking forward to next year.
Hey, 2023, here we come. We're
So
getting
true.
all the big artists. We're gonna get we already got Devil's Wear Prada. We're getting Kendrick Lamar. We're getting Tyler the Creator.
We're gonna keep dreaming. We do still have to bring our expectations back to reality here somewhat.
We still have to write our lists for next year, man, because you got the Devil's Wear Prada from this year.
Yeah, I did.
So
check the box off.
Yeah. See, look at that, man.
But yeah, it's been a good year.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all. We'll be back next year, so you can follow us on Twitter. It's good_noise_cast. Instagram is Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. YouTube is Good Noise Podcast. Every audio streaming service ever. Glory, what is it?
It's Good Noise Podcast.
Yeah, true. Bandcamp is goodnoiserecords.bandcamp.com. Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. You always got your Patreon supporters, Twitch subs, your important plugs, and then we're going to sign off.
Hell yeah. Black Lives Matter. Stop Asian hate. Get your vaccine if you can. There's another booster. I need to get that. I need to get that. I need that for me. Support your local bands. That's genuinely like, because a lot of, I mean, Sharia Moore, Shallow Pools are just now getting off tour, and I haven't spoken to them personally about it, but it's just like smaller bands. Like it's great that they're getting the exposure, but it's just like they have to go back home and like pay bills and shit.
Yeah,
Like
it
that's like a
ain't easy
crazy
out
thing.
there.
Exactly. It's rough, and you work with bands, so it's like firsthand, for a fact like how rough it is
Mm-hmm.
getting back from tour. So it's just support your local bands when you see them. Buy stuff from the booth, and because I'm pretty sure the tickets don't even go like towards them if they're a support band. Um, be a decent person and have a good year. It's gonna be good.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I have been Shane.
I have been Glory.
And we have been the Good Noise Podcast. So see you in 2023. Bye.
Bye.